Yeah, now you know the purpose of cilia. Cilia will be moving, and as the cilia move, it will push the sperms out of testes. Now, why cilia is required here? Because sperms are immature. Plus one more thing, if the sperms start using their own energy to move, maybe they will be completely tired by the time fertilization process will start. So to save their energy, nature has given cilia inside the vasa efferentia, which will cause the which will force the sperms to be moved from one position to the other position. And then there are some cells which will be performing phagocytosis of the waste material. When sperms are formed, a lot of changes will come in their shape and structure and sizes. So there will be always some waste material or debris. The debris has to be removed by endocyte cells or endocytosis cells. Now from vasa efferentia, which are 10 to 20, they will open into one pipe. That one pipe is called as epididymis. Epididymis is the longest pipe in this whole duct system of the reproduction. It is 6 meters in length. This tube is supposed to store the sperm till the point of ejaculation, and epididymis, it's drawn here. This tube is the epididymis. This one is the epididymis. This tube is supposed to be divisible into 3 portions for a convenient study. The first portion is called as the head. Scientific word is caput. The second portion is called as the body. The scientific name is the corpus. And the third portion is the tail. The scientific name for the portion is cauda. So epididymis is the longest portion in the whole reproductive tract system, and it receives the sperms and store it for a long time. If sperms are not used up by an individual, if the person is not sexually active, then after 2 months or so, those sperms which are stored inside will be degenerated or reabsorbed. Now the next is, from epididymis, the sperms are transferred into the vasa differentia. So vasa differentia is the tube which will take it into the abdominal portion. So in 10th you have drawn this diagram, if you remember. There is a vasa differentia which takes the sperm out of the scrotum into the abdominal cavity and takes a loop over the urinary bladder and then joins with the seminal vesicle tube. So vasa differentia is 30 to 35 centimeter long. It carries muscles. Now what are muscles for? Peristalsis, so pushing the sperms out. And even this tube can store sperm for a long time. And then the vasa differentia joins with the seminal vesicle, this gland, the seminal vesicle gland. This gland has a tube. The tube joins with the vasa differentia, and these 2 tubes join to form a small tube of 2 centimeter in length, full of muscles, again for pushing the sperm, and the tube is called as ejaculatory duct. From ejaculatory duct, the sperms will be passed. That means the tube system is going to join now with the prostate gland. Through the prostate gland, it will join with the urethra, and then a urethra will be passing out from the penis. The next is, urethra is not similar in the case of male and female. So I have written some basic points of differences between male and female urethra. First point is that the urethra is 20 centimeter in length. It can be 18 to 20 centimeter in length in the case of male, and just 2 to 4 centimeter in the case of female. It is a straight duct or a pipe. It's a curved one, slightly curved one in the case of the male. It has 2 sphincters. If you remember your 11th class syllabus, sphincters are the circular muscles which are supposed to be moving, relaxing or contracting, and this will cause, they basically remain contracted, and when the conditions are given, inputs are from the sensory system, they are supposed to be relaxing, they cause the thing to go outside. So sphincter muscles are 2 in the case of male, sphincter muscles are just 1 in the case of female. Outer is voluntary and the inner one is involuntary. Another thing is, the urethra does not receive any supply or any secretion of the glands in the case of female, but in the case of male, we all remember the 10th class syllabus. There are some glands present which are called seminal vesicle gland. Then you have the prostate gland, and there is one more gland which is called as bulbourethral gland. So these glands release their content, and the content goes into the urethra. In the case of male, urethra has two functions. It will pass out the urine, it will pass out the semen, but please remember both of these things cannot come out simultaneously. Either the urethra will act like a urinary passage or act like a passage for the semen. That's why in the case of male, it is called as urinogenital urethra, because it will pass out urine as well as pass out the semen. But in the case of female, it is only called as the urinourethra. The reason is that it only passes out the urine, because there is a different passage for the sex to take place. Now the next portion is the penis. Penis is the external genitalia which is required for it is required for the coitus. Coitus means the copulation to take place. Without the erection of penis, insemination is not possible. So what is exactly penis structure made up of? So penis has got a root, it has got a shaft, neck, and the glans penis. Please remember, humans do not carry a root, dogs have a root. So now in the case of human, penis is made up of three portions: shaft, neck, and the glans penis. The shaft is that long portion, and then it has a mushroom type of head on top which is called as the glans, and the place where these two things join and is covered with a loose skin, that place is called as the neck region. So the glans is covered with a skin which is called as a foreskin. So the skin which is removed in some cultures like the Muslim people and the Jewish people, they perform the process of circumcision. Circumcision is a ritual which is done in the case of male.